Hello again. Welcome back. Apologize, I'm mid-trade here. I took this trade earlier. It's definitely a slow-moving trade, so I wanted to give you a live view of what this looks like, how I manage it. Entered up here, as you can see, with 8 lots. This is on my Take Profit Trader account. Uh, as you can see, I did scale in a little bit. I'm still dabbling with that. I don't love it, but I do subscribe to, let me get this out of the way so you can see those candles. I do subscribe to some of Tom Hogarth's theory that it helps you mentally because we're fearful when we should be hopeful when it's running in our direction, right? That's when we should be scaling in, and that fights the psychology within your brain that makes you fearful. You're adding to it. You're forcing your brain to not be fearful. Now, on the flip side, we need to be more cognizant when it runs against us and not be hopeful. I never scale in or add to a position. Very early days of trading, I tried that. Man, you just get smoked. So scaled in with another 4 lots. I'm now at 12. I need to see it continue to drop a little bit more. I'd like to move it to break even, my stop loss here to break even, and be comfortable before I would scale in again. I would probably want to see a break of this. I know this is my 5 minute line because you can see it's so transparent, right? So the transparent is the 5 minute line, and then as you add the 15 minute line, the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute. If I can get my time frames right here. So this one that's actually completely locked in, that one's got a 1, 5, and 15 minute. And these are just 1 minute levels. So obviously not super significant levels. That's why I'd like to see it push below there before I would look at entering again. But right now, I'm a little bit more concerned that it's pulling against me. I just need it to mind this EMA, this 9 EMA. I'm going to bring my stop a little bit tighter just because if it breaks that 9 EMA, I think I'm going to want out. But it's got to break it in a little more significant way than just a couple of ticks up. You can see, by the way, let me back up a little bit. This is Thursday at, what are we at in New York time? We're at 12:30. You can see we are in no man's land. And this is when trading gets really tough because you'd like to say you're calling the top here and I'm shorting it. That's not really my mindset right now. I'm not sure I've called the top. When it hits all-time highs like this, I don't think anyone can very well predict what exactly it's going to do next. It's just never been anywhere close to this level, right? If you're on the 4 hour, even on the daily, this is just no man's land. We're up at 66, almost 6,600. Now that's a psychological level. I like that, but psychological levels tend to get tested and pushed through before giving back some of their move. So we're now 1, 2, 3. This will be a fourth candlestick up. I think I'm going to close this if it's going to close above the 9 EMA. I'm going to give it the 30 seconds, see if it ticks my stop. If it falls back below, then I'm okay. And it's just going to be a wick above the 9 EMA, and I'll stay in. But this candle closure is going to be a determining factor for me, which is okay. I already took a loss earlier today back over here on this first A plus setup. As you can see, I went in there and I was shorting it, so I saw that it broke that 9 EMA and I was out. So that one did close slightly above the 9 EMA. I'm going to give it one more candle here because I'm actually getting a B setup again. My entry was at the last B setup after the A setup notification. right? I kind of knew that this break was, yes, it's a 1, 2, 3, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for as far as my stochastics go. Remember, it's quad rotation. We should be entering at the top of these 4 stochastics. When they're overbought, that's when we want to enter because it's going to pull the momentum down. And you can see it's going to come back down to below that 9 EMA. Just tested it there for a minute. So this might be another one of these kind of 1, 2, 3 pullback that we're looking at here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 in this case, but let's see where this goes. I figured it might be a little bit more exciting to get in and start the video when I'm in the middle of a trade rather than trying to wait for the setup and everything live. That's hard to show you guys, and it's just, let's be honest, it's boring. Trading should be boring a little bit when we're talking about looking for this A+ setup. I could have a video going for, how long was this? It was 2 hours in between A setups here. And I apologize I didn't capture that first A setup, but it didn't work out. It was a loser. You guys saw where I entered and where I exited. As soon as it broke that 9 EMA, I was out. So good momentum going here, but I think this is going to be a trade that will take its time. I'll see if I can't figure out how to speed up the video from here and yeah, just let this carry. What I'm looking for ideally is probably this 5-minute, this last stochastic to come all the way down into oversold conditions here below the 20 line. As long as I've still got my volume on the bearish side of this and it's holding that 9 EMA, I'm going to let it ride. You can also see how far away the VWAP is down here. Man, it's kind of nuts. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit, give you a better picture. Just, we've still got, how many points is that? I'll throw on this short position from where I was. Yeah, even if I just play it to the VWAP, and I'm now in 12 instead of 8 like I started, so I'm gonna flip this here and go 12. My risk is still, in fact, I don't even think it's quite 150. I'm gonna call it 100. That's 90 ticks down to the bottom. That'd be a $1,100 trade. 51,125. So yeah, 1,125. And it's probably going to take a long time to get there. I think it's just going to keep ticking down. It doesn't seem to have the momentum to move sharp and fast like it has been to get up there. Typically, I know they say you take the stairs up and it's the escalator or elevator down, right? There's a lot of times in this strategy I see that does not really play out that way. We've got a little bit of an upswing here on my 2 bottom stochastics. I'm okay. I'm gonna see what this does. Hold the 9 EMA. I am gonna move this just to break even. What I hate about TradingView is that it then hides the number. You've got to click off of it and get your number back. Although I do know some traders that are very particular about not trying to show that number. They would rather have this buy stop covering and not look at the amount of money they're making. It's a way to disconnect emotionally from what's going on. And not a bad way, I'd say. So I now have a 1, 2, 3 ramp up if this closes that way. Still holding the 9 EMA, but I've got 3 stochastics wanting to return. They all look like they want to rotate up. Now it looks like we might have a little bit of a V back down on this top stochastic on my 1 minute. And I'll see what this does here. If it closes above that 9 EMA, stops me out, okay. Looks like it wants to respect that 9 EMA and keep going, but then there's kind of a definitive curve on that 9 EMA that looks like it could also want to rotate back up. This is something I'm still working on, by the way, for myself. I really struggle to hold these trades longer. And I think scaling in can be good in the end to help that mindset, but it's also hard to fight against when to add in. I would say I added in okay here, but I would have ideally entered in after it tapped that 9 EMA and started coming back down. For all I knew, when I added in, it was going to pull against me. So it got a little uncomfortable. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more in here. We're at break even. I'll just add another 4 lots. Then I'm going to bump this up to 16. And we'll bring that a little bit closer down here. We're still, again, I can move my stop loss down because I see this turn on the 9 EMA. So when I have that turn on the 9 EMA, I know that if it taps above that, I don't want it anyway. Let it go. But I would like to think, let's bring this back up. I had that quite low, as you can see. And I think it could easily do that. This is all within today. Could hit the bottom of this level and bounce, but I think it's going to want to return back down to more opening levels here on, 930-ish, right at opening. I know there's a lot of stats out there for those of you that use Edgeful. Big fan. I don't pay for it, but I can see how a tool like that would be super useful for something like this, right? Because you should have some good stats in there that tell you, hey, when we go up that much in a single day, and it'll tell you the odds are 80% that we're going to return back to opening levels by the end of the day at some point during the day. A lot of times I've been noticing with the higher highs and the ever always present, should we say, new all-time highs, the noon time frame likes to be a good reversal for the day. So we'll keep watching this here. Zoom in maybe a little bit more than I like there. It's got to hold that 9 EMA. I'd really like to take about 400 out of it. So once I hit that level, I'll probably be looking to move my stop loss down into there and see if it continues to play, or if I'm just going to close it and take my profits and go. Looks like we've got another 1, 2, 3 pullback. That kind of a but we're still in good shape as far as this 5-minute stochastic goes. I want to see that come down here. It's still got a lot of room. We're currently at 45. Yeah, it's getting a little uncomfortable here, though. Yeah, that's a solid wick up, isn't it? Yikes. 20 seconds. This is where I lose some patience. I just want to take some profit. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm already down on the day a little bit. I don't want to take another loss, especially when I've been in the green $150, $200 so far. I'm going to let this close. Eesh. See where it goes. It closed pretty high above there. And I've got a 1, 2, 3 on ramp. So let's see if it holds the 9 EMA. I also struggle, by the way. There's my bearish exit signal for my from my indicator. So I'm probably going to go ahead and close this trade here. I'll give it just another minute. But I'd say that's pretty all right. 205, if I can tap that one more time, I'll take it. So there you go. That's $205 profit. It may continue to run, but that's a solid wicking or solid candle. Sorry, not a wicking candle. Solid candle way above the 9 EMA. Looks like it could want to pull back and reverse, and it's kind of been doing this same kind of fake out where it wants to pull back. It pulled back here, right? My original entry here looked good because it had a divergence up here, B set up there, another divergence, A set up here, faked out, kept pushing higher. So we're going to leave it there, and we'll see where the rest of the day turns out.